A third major question in stakeholder analysis involves procedure. Does a firm have an obligation to engage with stakeholders and invite their input into ethical decisions? Well, yes, say two different views in business ethics. Habermasian or discourse ethics says that ethical decisions affecting stakeholders requires open public discussions and deliberation. The multi-stakeholder dialogue view holds that dialogue is a natural and important facet of human relationships, and to suppress it in stakeholder relationships would be unnatural and imprudent. But it is unclear how long the dialogue should last, who should take part, and to what extent the dialogue should be. Jones's work on instrumental stakeholder theory argues that the most important consideration in whether a firm does well financially is its ethical or unethical behavior toward its stakeholders, especially the presence or absence of dishonesty and opportunism. In terms of principle-based ethics, firms that follow ethical principles of tell the truth, do not deceive, or the golden rule of treat others as you would like them to treat you, perform better financially. According to Jones, opportunism or dishonesty tends to make stakeholders unhappy and increase contracting cost. In other words, stakeholders demand higher upfront payments or costs from the firm as a safeguard against future opportunism or dishonesty. These extra costs lower the firm's financial performance. Later research in corporate social responsibility has also confirmed that treating stakeholders well leads to firms doing well financially. So in conclusion, it is important to consider stakeholders in ethical decision making. First, organizations should identify the importance of different stakeholder groups and the issues that matter to those stakeholder groups. Second, we should identify the importance or relevance of perceived issues, the intensity of the issue, or the interest in the particular issue. The intensity of interest in a particular issue is likely to vary over time and among individuals, and is influenced by the organizational culture, values, and norms, the specific characteristics of the situation, and the personal pressures weighing on the decision. Personal moral development and philosophy, organizational culture, and one's co-workers determine why different people perceive issues with varying intensity as well. Next, the organization should gather information necessary to respond to significant individuals, groups, and communities. Then of course you're going to want to make the best decision you can. Now, one option is to do the greatest good for the greatest number of stakeholders, but that doesn't have to be what drives the decision, because this can lead to tyranny of the majority, in which numerically smaller stakeholders are treated unjustly. But you should have a decision that makes sense, and you should be able to communicate why you made that decision to stakeholders so they'll understand even if they disagree. Later, we're going to want to evaluate how things turned out for the different stakeholders.